Hello, this is Godel, and welcome back to the Islands of Insight static puzzle series. We are continuing down here in the Vault of the Vitric. Yes, you can see my waypoint, so this is just a continuation of the previous recording. So we have just 5 puzzles left down here in the basement, but we're going to be tackling these guys. Oh boy! So, we don't have the no domino rule. Sorry, that's what was in the last puzzle. That one's still fresh in my mind. So, we have, instead, one symbol per light area. So, if we have one of these being light... If we have one of these symbols in here being light, then the adjacent symbols are going to have to be dark. So, if we have a light here, for example, this is going to be dark, dark. That would have to be dark. Then we're going to have some light cells up here doing some stuff, right? Yeah. So let's think about this one. Where can we get started on this one? Where are some, like, constraints? So if we have a dark here, this has to be light. And if we have a light here, this one has to be dark. But that one can also be light or dark. So that one doesn't actually really give us anything to start with there. What else do we have here? We have a dark here. If we have a dark here, then there needs to be a light here, and then the light has to go to one of these symbols. This one could also be dark as well. If this is light, this one has to be dark. Then there has to be a dark up here. Let's see if we get a foresight if it helps us get started here. Kind of. So I didn't see these threes pointing at each other here. So whatever this is, if this is a light, these all have to be dark. But if it's dark, these all have to be light, which would be invalid. So this one has to be light. Now we know there are 2 more light cells in these 2 squares. What about up here? If this is dark, then there have to be light cells coming out like this. But if this is light, then there still have to be light cells coming out like this. So no matter what, there's light cells coming out like this up here. There has to be one light symbol here, so if we do this one as the light symbol, we're in trouble. Because there needs to be a second light symbol in here. So this one has to be dark as well. And there's already a light symbol up here, so we now know the light symbol is here between these 2 shapes. This blocks those in. If we make this dark in here, we need a light cell. But then the light cell can't go to anything, right? Because the light cell has to connect to a symbol. So this one has to be light. And these could all be dark over here. But this one could also be dark, and it could make a trail of light symbols. If this is dark, that's a problem. This is dark, that's a problem. No, never mind. It has to be like this. Okay, and then this one has to be dark. Now, there could be a light symbol here, and then we call it good with the light symbol coming here off of this one arrow. But it could also come over here and then go off in this direction somewhere. So, not sure where that one's going yet. If these are dark, let's see, I'm looking at this 3 right now. So if I make this 3 dark, these have to be light. This one would have to be dark. That would have to be dark, light, and light. But on the inverse, if I make this one light, these have to be dark. Now this one has to be dark. Wait, no, that one doesn't have to be dark, because this one could be dark or light still. We couldn't have a light cell here, though, so the light cell would have to be here like that. Now this one would have to be dark. This one would have to be dark, so this can be light. Yeah, I don't really see kind of an end situation in any of those colorations, so... We know if this is dark, this is light, and we know if this is light, then this one is dark. But, like, we don't really know what that's gonna be, still. So here we have a 2 facing exactly 2 darts. So if this is dark, these are both light, then that would have to be dark. Which would make there have to be one more light in this section. If this is light, these would have to be dark. And I have, like, not really any additional hints to really work with. Oh, and this one would have to be dark. If this one's dark, though, that makes all of this light, and that's a... Wait, no, if this one's dark, this has to all be dark. Okay, hold on. I think we're cooking with something still. Let's see, these would have to be light. This would have to come up to something. Now those have to be dark. So they have to be light, dark. This can't be something. Okay. All of that to determine that that one cannot be light, this one has to be dark. Which is, like, a good hint. It's a good information to know. So if this is light, then these are dark. So this one has to be dark as well. If this is dark, then these are light. And, this one has to be dark to be light, to be dark here, and then that has to be light here, and that one would have to be invalid. So I think we can actually go ahead and say that this one... Shoot, which way was it? I think it has to be this way around, right? Yeah, okay. So now this one has to be dark. If this one is light down here, then we have to do this, and then... Hold up, if it's dark, first of all, we have to do that. That makes a problem over here, so this one can't be dark. There's 2 light cells in this row already, so that row is done. So there has to be one more dark cell in here, there has to be one light cell in here. Tricky, tricky puzzle. So whatever this piece is, this piece is going to be the opposite of it. So if this is light, so if this is dark, this one's light. If this one's light, this one's dark. But in any case, we have the second dark tile here, so that means the rest in this row are light. Block those from connecting. I misclicked, of course. If this is light, then we block... If this one is light, then we block this one in. So this has to be like so. Then this can come down like this. That one can't be light anymore. These can't connect down here. It's going to have to be a light cell here. If we put a dark cell here, then we get an isolated light cell. So we're going to put a light cell there. Oh, geez. Okay, so... This one has to be light over here. Don't feel like that really gave me anything. It just finished that one up. So if this is dark, these are both light. But if this is light, there's a problem. Okay, never mind. I forgot that was a thing up there. What if we just do light here, dark there, dark here, and then we just finish this off down here? I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, all dark areas have region of 3. Once again with the uncolored dark grids here. Kind of, let's just see where this goes. I kind of just want to, like, jump into it rather than thinking about it too long. So, if we have a dark tile in the corner here, this has to escape one of these ways. So, both of these would have to be dark. And then both of them would have to be light as well. So, we can't have a dark tile in the corner. That has to be a light tile in the corner. Now, if we have a... If this is light, for example, this would come out like this. This one could be dark, too. I mean, that kind of gives us a starting point. I think we have the same logic happening up here. This one has to be light, because if it's dark, then it has to go this way, right? And it's a problem, no matter which way we do it. So this one's light as well. So if these are light, this would be dark. But if they are dark, these would be light. But no, they would also be dark. So these are dark no matter what. And I think the same applies over here, because it's kind of symmetrical in regards to those arrows. So if these are... Let's say I put the corner to be dark as well. That makes this be like that. I don't know if I want to commit to that. Same thing happens over here. Would need kind of a lot of light cells down here because of this 4. 3 more light cells. If I make this light here, then we make an invalid shape up here. Oh, wait. No, we don't. I thought this was a 3 for some reason. If we make this one light, then we're still okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything that would make invalid shapes up here. So this one is fine either way. If this is light, this one has to be dark. If this is dark, this one has to be light. Then this one has to be light, which means this one has to be dark. Corner trick and all. Ah, jeez. Then this one has to be dark, that one has to be light, that one would have to be dark, light. So we get this elbow macaroni if we're going in that way. The elbow macaroni complex up here. What did the other way look like again? So this one's light, this one has to be dark, that one's like these. This one would have to be light. This one would have to be light as well. These would all have to be dark. That would have to be light over there. We need 2 dark cells here. 2 dark cells, and how many dark cells do we need up here? We need 3 dark cells here, so 2 and 3. So it would need to be something like this, or the other way around. Wait, like that, right? So like this, or like this. So those two would have to be like that. I'm gonna do a foresight here just to even see if this is in the right track. No, that was like the wrong track from the start. I'm gonna go ahead and take it back just because I'm struggling to see where to go. So we know that one's dark. That makes this light. Then we corner trick here. Dark. Dark. Light, because corner trick. Dark, light, light, light. So, I mean, kind of, like, totally, kind of the same, but totally different of what we had before. This one has to be, light, because dark is invalid now. Here. Let us say what foresight wants us to look at. Wants us to look at this too. Well, let's see. What can we infer anything about the 2? So if the 2 is light, then, well, if the 2 is dark first, let's look at the dark situation first. If the 2 is dark, these both need to be light. Now, then we would need this down here, and that's invalid. Okay, so this 2 needs to be light. If this is then dark, then we're good. If this one is light, then this has to come around like this. This one would have to be dark. If this one is light, then it has to look like that. What if it was dark? So if it was dark, this would look like that. Then, whoops. If it's light, this looks like that. Okay, so I think this one has to be dark, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So we have this pattern, which probably gives us the least amount of stuff to look at. This 2 is still completely undefined. It could still be either case. This 2, we can still be either case. There's a single dark cell in here. So if it's light, this one is dark. If this is dark, this one is light. So the dark cell's in here. This one's light then. What would Foresight have us looking at next? Over here. Interesting. Okay. Oh, because if it's dark, this dark has to come out, and then it's okay. But if it's light, then this has to be something that can exist. So this has to be dark over here, then we can corner trick that there. If this is dark, these all have to be dark. And if this is light, these all have to be dark anyways. So these two are dark. This one is just done. Whoops. This column is done. This can be light. This has to be light. Okay. This one has to be a single dark cell in one of these two tiles. So this is done here. This one has to now be light, so that can be dark. This dark can come up here. Like, even here at this point of the puzzle, we're almost done with it, and there's still, like, so much stuff we have not been able to figure out. If this is dark, it has to come out like this, right? If this is dark, this one has to be light. So this one has to be light, so that one can be undefined. Dark, light. Okay. Not so proud of that one. It was definitely a guess fest at some point, but these 5-star ones, they just knock they beat me up. So, all right, let's kind of taper down. I want to taper down in difficulty, so let's do this 4-star, the 3-star one over here. Hopefully I can, like, do it without having super guess fest. Oh no, dominoes. Connect all dark cells. So let's see, I see a 3 here. And the 3 is going to be pointing at itself. So if we make this dark, we need to have 3 light cells here. If we make it light, we're good. Now one of these has to be dark. One of these along this axis has to be dark. So if we make this one light, it's invalid, so this one has to be the dark one. We're going to have to connect these 2 sides. Light cell here. We're going to have to come up here. This one has to be dark, so that can be light, then that can be dark. And this is done over there. We need... Uh-oh, hold on. We've made an error. Ah, this doesn't have to be dark over here. Because there's cells down this way, past this area, so... So we can't make this one light. This one has to be dark, which means that has to be light. Okay. Now that has to come out. That's our light cell. This has to come out of there. This 4... Let's see, if we make this one light, this has to be dark. If we make this one dark, this has to be dark. So that has to be dark no matter what. There's a single light tile down here somewhere. There's probably going to be a dark tile in here somewhere. I mean, there doesn't have to be a dark tile in here. This could all just be light tiles. right? Or... no, it can't all be light tiles. So if there's a dark tile here... if there's a light tile here, then we have an isolated section of dark tiles. So that has to be dark. If there is a light tile here, then we're okay. If there's a light tile here, then we're okay. Okay, so we don't have the solution for that one yet. What is this one gonna be? Can we puzzle this one out? So if this one is dark, then down here we would need 3 more light cells. So how would we accomplish that? Like this, maybe? I've done too much, hold on. Let's maybe take a break from this side of the puzzle for a second. So over here we have to have 1 dark cell here, but we also have to have 1 of these to be dark to get this dark out of the corner. So these have to be light, which then means this is going to have to come like this. This is already done here. That has to connect there. Now, did that help us solve the left side of the puzzle? Not really. We're still kind of stuck in the same way. If we make this dark here, then this is invalid either way. So this one has to be light. Then this one can be dark. That has to connect through there. Now we need 3 light cells in here. We need 3 light cells in here. So we need 2 more light cells than we already have. This can be anything, right? If this is light, both of these have to be dark. So this one has to be dark, actually. Then these can all be light. Okay. I'm really bad at dominoes. Apologies. Okay. Okay, we're back to the uncolored darts. We're almost done here. We have a 2-star and a 1-star left, so this should just kind of be. This should be doable for my abilities. What are we looking at here? So we have no dominoes, no dark dominoes. So if we make a dark square here, that's what this is gonna look like. This one would have to be dark. Then there would be a domino in here. This one would have to be dark. Connect all light cells. Okay. This looks okay so far, but no, it doesn't look okay. There's an issue here. So if we have a dark here, well, actually, let's just boil it down from here. If this one's light, then it's an issue. So this one has to be dark to start, so that both of these can be light. Now, if this one is dark, both of these would have to be dark. So that one has to be light as well. If this one is light, those have to be like that. But then that light can't escape here. So this one has to be dark. So there's a dark cell here and a dark cell here. So this is a checkerboard in either this direction. But it can't be because it would lock that in. So it has to be a checkerboard in the other direction. There we go. Okay. That one has to be dark. These 2 cells have to be opposite of each other, so if this is dark, this is light. If this is dark, these two are light. If this is light, that's dark and that's light, but this one's always light. So there's some stuff there. If this one was dark, these would all have to be dark, and that would be wrong, so that one has to be light here. If this one was dark, we would need two darks here, and that's not going to work, so that one's light. Then that gives us those two dark cells like that. Okay. Okay, not too bad on that one. There was still quite a bit of guesswork in there. Maybe I'll try to do this one with minimal guessing. Okay, so no dark squares this time is our thing we need to avoid. Connect all dark cells. So these 5s, whatever this 5 is, if this is a light 5, then these all need to be dark here. If this is dark, these all need to be light. And this is going to have up-down symmetry, so whatever we do up here is going to, same thing is going to appear down here. So we cannot have a situation where these two are different colors, so light and dark, for example, would divide these two areas. So these two either have to both be dark, which would look like this, or they'd have to both be light, which would look like this, and obviously they can't do that because we make a bunch of 2x2s. So these are both dark, and these are all light. Now we just fill in these darks. Block the 2x2s. Alright, that one was fun. Alright. That wraps it up for the basement. I think we are all done down here. Yeah, I'm just double checking. We are all done in the basement. And I believe we're all done in the lower area too. So that's actually 3 out of 4 areas of the Vault of the Vitric complete. We only have... How do we get out of here? We only have the middle floor left. Not the middle floor. Oh, it is the top floor left. We do have this sightseer here I neglected to finish. Let's see if I can go ahead and finish this sightseer. So I'm going to use a strategy on this sightseer because I legitimately do not remember where it is. We can kind of look at it a bit, see if anything... We can kind of see anything through the sightseer. The problem is, I mean, like, we're looking at it, it's just like a blur of lights and refracted sky drops. So there's kind of like a blurry yellow light out there. I can kind of see a temple. We might do some alternate strategies for solving this one. Let's see if we can just walk around and see what this kind of like yellowish reflection might be. Refraction. So there's no bricks or anywhere we're standing visible, so the place we're looking at is going to be like a place like this where we're only looking at just glass wall and glass floor. It also looks like the glass in this picture is sloping upwards, so this might actually be in the downstairs. So let's go take a look downstairs. But before that, I actually want to... Let me show you an interesting strategy you can do with sightseers. So if you modify the world in any way, say by putting beacons like this, and then you pick up a sightseer, if those sightseers are within line of sight of the sorry, if those beacons are in line of sight of the sightseer, you'll be able to see them in your sightseer here. So the sightseer is not in this direction here. Let's go put them in another direction. So let's see if they are off in this direction. I'm just using my teleport to get back in here quickly. Still don't see any of the sightseers, so it's probably on one of these two sides of the pyramid. Or, well, has to be on one of those two sides, right? Let's do a super jump over here. Who remembers episode 3? Anyways. Mark that side, so we are now looking at the southwest side of the pyramid. Alright. Splash screen. Okay, so we still don't see them, which means the sightseer is gonna probably be in this direction, but just to kind of prove the theory I'm working with here, I'm gonna go over here, get a big old jump in this direction. And I'm thinking, yeah, it does look like there's some ruins kind of way in the distance. This should be our sightseer direction. Yeah. Now do you see the beacons out here? So we now know that we are working with a sightseer that is in... I have fallen into a maze. That is in this direction over here. So now we can kind of look along here and see if anything in this direction lines up. I'm thinking it's probably not going to. I think we need to go down there. These yellow wisps might correspond to that. There's a little launch platform right there. It might be distorting the image of the launch platform. So let's see if we can make this jump up here. Jumping up one whole level of a crystal labyrinth is actually pretty tough. So I'm just going to use a super jump there. Alright. And then we should be looking in this direction over here. So where's our launch platform I was seeing? I don't see a launch platform, but now that I'm down here, I do see that lore beacon. So that lore beacon is probably what this distorted picture is over here. So somewhere along this wall is where we should be finding our puzzle. Or not a puzzle, sorry, our sightseer. Which is a puzzle according to the game, but... Potato, potato. Okay, so going by this image, we only see two of our beacons, so we need to go a little bit further this way. I would like to reflect on not having Vault of the Vitric in my face so I can see what I'm looking at here. Okay. So here, I'm using my beacons to help line this up as well, just because, like, I can't see anything through this. So the temple is kind of down there. Okay, I see the two... what's it called? The two sky drops over there. I see several sky drops over here. I'm just trying to line this up at this point. Looks like this, this little light is actually this launch pad here. So if we actually line it up with the launch pad, how does that look? Gonna have to line it up better. Oh, here we go. So it's around here somewhere. Here, this is it. Yep, so this is the sightseer angle it gave us. Like, really? Anyways, let's go back upstairs. I'm gonna warp out and then warp back in to get back upstairs. Alright, and that's all the sightseers done. So I think that completely wraps us up for this floor. I'm pretty sure this matchbox is on the outside of the pyramid, so we don't have to worry about this. That is not part of the vault of the Vitric. I cannot click this. I'm trying to click it, and it is not letting me. So finally, we are going up to the vault of the Vitric basement. Not basement. Attic. Attic of the Vitric? I don't know. But here we are, the top floor. We've been up here previously. Normally there is a 15 mystery requirement to get through this door, but we've came up here because there was a sightseer like in this corner or something that I already went ahead and handled. So we are going to start this off with a hidden pentad that stretches downstairs. Hold on. I'm going to take a quick look downstairs just to make sure none of them are down here. So I see some of them in this maze down here, which is fine because the maze is accessed from upstairs, but I want to make sure there's none down here. I think we're okay. Just look around the edge of this maze, make sure there's no hidden pentads sticking out of the maze out here. Okay. So all of them should be accessible from upstairs. We shouldn't need to come down here again. I see a matchbox up here. I hear a hidden archway under me. It's nice to be surrounded by puzzles again. There's a matchbox here. There's a hidden arch I didn't even see, but I walked through it. I'm gonna move this beam out of the way. So I see the green of this matchbox. Let's keep an eye out for a red matchbox somewhere. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop down into this crystal maze and start solving it as soon as I find the entrance. Here it is. I'm gonna also remove these beacons that I have. Kind of bug into the side of my vision over here. So here's an entrance to the maze. Let's hop in. Let's go ahead and run through the maze first. Let's find our way through here. I'm gonna ignore all the puzzles. There's a hidden pentad. There's the matchbox. Go ahead and line that one up. Okay. Continue with the maze. Super distracted. We don't know what we're doing. We're just like all over the place. This feels like I'm in a dead end. Like this maze, this corner of the maze doesn't go anywhere. I can't go down. I can't go to other chambers of the maze. Can I go down here? Nope. Oh, here we go. I found a path. There's 1 of 5 hidden pentad. Looks like I can go down this hole over here. Looks like I can come up that hole to get to this 5-star puzzle. Correction. Okay, so we can go down there. And this is the dead end on this side, so it looks like we're gonna have to go down. And let's drop down to this level. This is the chain puzzle. We're already way past the time on the maze, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and handle this puzzle. So connect all dark cells and do not make anything that's not a straight line. So that's just gonna be like this, right? It's also underclued, so we don't need to worry about placing all the tiles. Yep, because this can basically just be a rectangle in undeterminate length. There's another hidden pentad here. Can we grab this one? Got that one. There's one over here. Here's the next in this chain of puzzles. Let's go ahead and do this one. Connect all dark cells, and we cannot make a 3x3. So when you have a 3x3, you basically have to make like a big old squiggle. So that means you can't ever get to here with your squiggle. Wait, you could. You can't get here. Right? I think this is gonna look like this, essentially. Yeah, because if we... Let me undo that. If we try to squiggle this anyway, it's either gonna look like this, like a squiggle like this in this direction, or it's gonna look like a squiggle like this in this direction. But basically, that's the white space of the squiggles, like the extreme direction it could go in those areas. So there you can see the outline of this squiggle that I made in the top here, and then that would just be pasted in the other four sides of the grid. Got hidden pentad number 4, so hidden pentad area is going to start shrinking now. And then, what do we have here? No big L piece. So where could we go with that? Where can't we go with that? That's basically what we need to answer, is where can't we go? So we could go like this. We could go like this. This would be one possible shape, as if we just had like, kind of like our first puzzle. But then it couldn't branch out any further. So we could also do a squiggle, like our second puzzle. So I think basically what we're looking at, because we can have a squiggle or we can have this, we're basically looking at the solution of the first two puzzles kind of intersected on top of each other. So like this. Yeah, there we go. So those are always light, and then we don't know what the other ones are going to be. So yeah, it was just an intersection of the previous two puzzles overlaid on top of each other. Where is our hidden pentad bubble? I cannot tell where our hidden pentad bubble is, if we're inside of it, if it's above us or below us. Let's keep going through this maze. So the red floor of the maze is done. Except I don't know how to get out of it. Oh, here's the hidden pentad. We're still shrinking. We're now on the orange floor. Oh dear, a 5-star puzzle. We don't really have enough time for our 5-star puzzle, so I'm going to maybe leave that one for next time for like the final logic grid cleanup. Here's our hidden pentad. This takes us down here. This is the platform we were seeing when we were walking around and doing the sightseers. And this shoots us way up to the top. Here we go. This is actually the top of the pyramid. This platform here is the exit of the Vault of the Vitric. With that, we have completed the Vault of the Vitric primary objective. This is the exit of it. Oh, hidden ring. Ah, whatever. Oh, I'm falling back into the maze too. So this is kind of our finale of puzzles up here. We have these puzzles, which we'll do next time, I think. Let's go ahead and continue clean up in these areas. There's a way to drop down in here, right? Yeah, okay. And some hidden rings. Those hidden rings actually finished off the final secondary goal of the Vault of the Vitric. And now we can see our actual final goal. 19 puzzles still remaining. So let's get on with them. So 1 symbol per light area. This is a maximum reach puzzle, so we need to basically figure out what the maximum bounds of these are. So this 4 can come out as far as this. This 5 can come out as far as this. So these have to be dark. The 4 can reach over there. Okay. The 5 can reach up to here along this diagonal, and the 4 can reach up to here, so it cannot reach those tiles. What are we doing? We're doing this puzzle again over here, reaching out. It's the reaching out graduation test. Okay, so this tile is going to have to connect either to the 5 or to the 4. Let's assume it connects to the 5 first. So if it connects to the 5's maximum reach is out here. And then the 4's maximum reach is here. So nothing can ever reach over this area. How far can this 5 go if it's not latched onto that? It could go here. So the 4 can go as far as here, so it can't reach down here. The 4 can reach... The 5 and the 4 can't reach that. The 4 can't reach those. And then the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 cannot reach this corner up here. So kind of defining where the area is and then filling it in. Okay, this 6 has to go to this one. I don't think the 5 can reach it, right? Yeah, the 5 can't reach that. If the 6 goes here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's not going to be able to go any further than that. And the 6 really can't go anywhere else. It has to go straight from here to here. So all of these are going to have to be blocked in. The 6 has to make a beeline from here to here. We don't know how it does it, but it has to do it. The 5 can reach out to there. So this area up here is filled in. The 5 can reach down to 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Okay. Alright, what do we have here? So the 3, let's see where the 3 can go. The 3 can go as far as this. Where can the 4 go? So if the 3 goes here, if the 3 goes here, how far can the 4 go? So the 4 can go up to here. The 4 could go here as well. So this would be our boundary of the 4, I think. The 3 could go... Well, nothing can go in here, obviously. The 4 could go as far as over here. And then can the 4 go up here? I think I made a mistake somewhere. Because the 4 can't go up here. Ah. Okay, yeah, that one could be light. That was my bad. I had an extra light tile right there. Okay. Now we have to worry about both of these at the same time. So the 5 is the further reaching of these. So whenever the 5 is down here, the 4 has to go here. And if the 4 is here, the 5 has to go here. So we basically just have to assume the 5 is coming towards both of them. So if the 5 comes down here, it could go as far as here. the 5 could reach if the 4 is coming down here. Well, if the 4 is coming here, the 5 has to go over there. So the 5 can't go in that corner. It could reach, it could poke anywhere off of this branch here, but it could not be off of this. Okay, the 4 is basically stuck beelining to the other tiles. I don't think anything can go in those 2 tiles. Nothing could reach here. And then nothing can reach here. Because the 5 can branch out by 1 in any direction, but the 4 cannot. Okay. Was that a 5 pipper? Yeah, that was a 5 pipper. Final 5 pipper. Okay. So there's 6 groups of 6 blocks here. So one of the 6s is going to have to connect to the 8, and one of them is going to have to connect to the 9. So when one of them connects, it becomes an 8. So if the 8 connects over here, then this entire section. So this is kind of similar to that previous one. The 9 is going to be stuck hugging the shape. It's not going to be able to get, it's not going to be able to branch off. So we basically have to assume that the 9 is going to connect to one of these, and it's going to be able to branch off any one of those. The 8's going to be stuck doing connecting, so the 8 can't branch off anywhere. Now we just have to do all of the connections that the 9... We have to make it so anywhere the 9 can't go. So where would the 9 not be able to go? In the middle. Uh-oh. This one's invalid. Hold up. The 9 could go there. And the 9 can't go there. We have extra tiles. The 9 could go here, actually. There we go. Okay. Didn't realize when it connects there. It might be easier to, like, visualize. Okay, if you have the 9 connected like this, then it can go in any of the tiles adjacent to this. So you have to basically do the corners of this, right? Then it can't go any further than that. Then the same thing if you connect it this way. You then have to do the corners of this one, but not that one. Then it can't go in any of these tiles. The 8 is stuck connecting to that. And then, yeah. Then we just fill in the blank space here, right? Yep, that's what the solution is. That might have been an easier way to visualize it, I guess, if you kind of look to see what those look like. Okay, we have time for maybe one more not too difficult puzzle. How do I get to this 4 pipper? I know we have 2 5-star puzzles left in this maze alone, so let's drop down here and start working on the puzzles in here. We're gonna take a break from this episode once I finish maybe one more puzzle. A 4-pit puzzle is a good way to end this. Okay, and it is also a, underclued grid. So we need to figure out... There has to be something to see here. So if this goes... If this comes down here... I think our only solution basically is this, right? We have to connect these, otherwise there's not enough tiles physically in this space to make it so that those can connect without, like, not having enough tiles. So This one forced us to go left to right, but this one we could do the same pattern, but we could also go up and down. But it would be an uncommon shape of having a 2x2 of dark squares there in the middle. Sorry, I cannot talk anymore. Probably a good time to call it. I'm going to squeeze in one more puzzle. Alright, we got underclued with Lotus. Okay. So connect all light cells. So if we have connect all light cells, that means we also have to have all dark cells symmetrical to the light cells, respecting this one. So connect all light cells, that means this has to be mirrored here. Then mirror those shapes. This has to be mirrored here. What else would we have here? So this one has to be mirrored to this. Right, so that one mirrors up there. This one mirrors up here. Okay. Now this one has to mirror up here. And this one has to mirror up here. And then this one has to mirror over here. Is this correct so far? This is correct so far. Okay. This is going to be like a ring of some sort, basically, going around here. So this is going to have to come out. Both sides. Oh, geez. Now I have to mirror that up here. I have to mirror that over there. Everything's looking good so far, though. These dark cells all need to be mirrored. These dark cells up here need to be mirrored down here, and then over here as well. We're gonna have to connect this ring, and I think that's actually gonna be it. Yep, there we go. We got just like this little ring. And if we had more tiles, we could fill in more, but that's all they gave us, and it's an underclued grid, so... Okay. That's gonna wrap it up for this episode. If you're enjoying the Islands of Insight static puzzle series, we are here kind of almost at the end here. You can see only 11 puzzles left, and then we'll be done with the final enclave. There will be a finale episode for the match 3 speed challenges. How exciting. But yeah, with that said, thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time. We are almost done.